So welcome back to Orlando Out of Context. I'm Brian.
And I'm Stephanie.
So we have a special guest today. We have Lego Explore Orlando, which is a Instagram account that focuses on scenes or places in Orlando, but with Lego characters in the frame. So welcome, guys. We have Rob and Charles.
Well, thank you. You forgot to say that this is Orlando's best Instagram account, as per Orlando Magazine.
That's a nice accolade. We didn't get that.
It really was, yes.
So let's talk about that. You were featured on, so every year Orlando Magazine does a best of issue where as Orlandoians, we all come together and we vote for the best restaurants, the best websites or Instagram accounts. And you guys were featured as like, I don't know what you call it, like you were on the cover and then like all the little things on the website. So tell us how that came.
We were selected this year to be their featured artist. So it's actually been a big year for us because we have Orlando Magazine and then we have Orlando Weekly. So
for Orlando Magazine, we got a phone call one day and they said, you guys won our poll, our readers poll for the best local news feed. And I just remember being like, ooh, that was a pleasant surprise. I wasn't expecting that at all. And then kind of right around the same time is when Orlando Weekly Magazine approached us about doing their best of issue to be their featured artist. So it was like two things that happened right at the same time.
Sometimes that's how it happens, right?
Like, yeah, exactly.
All at once. So
these are the highlights of 2020.
Well, it's good. It's good to have some pluses here in 2020. So we kind of like to start out with your history and your connection with Orlando. So for you both, what is your connection with Orlando? When did you move here? Are you originally from here? Let us know your connection with Orlando and your history with Orlando.
So I've lived here most of my life. My family goes back generations. And I was born here in Orlando. We moved away a little bit when I was younger and then moved back my sophomore year in high school. So I've been back for 25 years, I think. So quite some time, and I've seen the changes that the city's gone through.
It's been a lot of changes.
A lot of changes, especially in probably these last 10, 15 years. I think Orlando's really seen kind of a rebirth and a resurgence.
Which I say that's all because I moved here right around that time. So.
Clearly.
So I'm from like the Buffalo, Rochester, New York area. And I moved down here about 12, 13 years ago. My sister lived here and I wanted to kind of get away from my little town and just up and moved.
The reason most of us come here to get away from our little towns.
Exactly.
So what made you start the page? Like when did that spark or that idea enter your brain?
So there was a little bit of inspiration. So Rob's from like some tiny little town. I mean, it was like 3,000 people.
What's the name of your town?
It's Mount Morris, New York.
Mount Morris. Okay. I have a friend from Rochester, but I haven't never heard him talk about Mount Morris.
Yeah, probably not, because he'd have to go about 40 minutes south into the middle of nowhere in order to
That's accurate. So of this tiny small town, I guess one day Rob stumbled across some Instagram, which probably was some 7-year-old that had an Instagram account that was Lego Explore Mount Morris. And it was a picture of one Lego figure sitting on a slide at one of the parks in the city. And as we said, well, there's nothing particularly Mount Morris-y about what this young man has done, but we kind of love the idea. I had just started following a couple other accounts on Instagram that were showing, kind of a unique take on the city, and said, you know what? We really like that idea. I think we had so many friends that were like, you're always out and about doing something, like kind of like the two of you. You're always somewhere. We didn't even know that was a thing. We didn't even know that was a place. We didn't even know that event was happening. We were hearing from the people in our lives on our own personal account. And we said, you know what, let's find like a dumb way to document all of the things that we do. And it was kind of born out of that.
I mean, that's really, we're always doing things like you said, and we're always taking pictures and making them into like little books at the end of each year so that we can kind of recap the things we've done. And this was kind of another kind of side avenue to just document what we do all the time.
So that leads me to a question. Do you have like experience in photography? Because I feel like you do a really good job of capturing like the blurry big picture with that little teeny figurine like all in the same frame.
So
And
if
it
you
seems
look at
difficult to do.
if you look at the course of the account over the past year and a half, you see that the pictures have gotten a little bit better. Neither one of us really
I
has
think they're all equally good, but it's like,
Thank you.
being able to capture like a large, something like that's large scale and have it kind of like blurryish in the background because the focus is on like the little
on
man,
the guy.
and then get like the detail of the little man in the big picture.
Yeah, toy photography is not always easy. I did a little work with photography. Like I started back in high school, in my photography classes as electives. And then I did some freelance work with the Orlando Sentinel about 100 years ago, doing some photography with them. But not a lot until I think we started this account, and then we really kind of took off and invested in a halfway decent camera.
So I was gonna say, did you start with like your phone first and go from
Most
there?
of it,
Yes.
yeah.
And sometimes we still take the pictures on the phone. Like we bought the fancier camera, but sometimes, man, that good old iPhone takes the better shot. It kind of just depends on where we are and what we're doing.
It's no fun lugging a camera around Disney World.
Right.
It's not.
Exactly.
It really is not. And that's for me. Like I don't even worry about like DSLR or having one, because as long as I stay up to date with the iPhone, it's all I need really.
Yeah.
So that's great to hear that you still use even the iPhone. So the next thing I want to ask, and I'm going to save this one for a little bit later because we have our show notes in front of us, so we're kind of communicating live in the segment here. But tell us about this is my big question, because Steph was like, think of what you want to ask them. And so today I was thinking, what would I really want to ask them? So I would have to say, what is your Lego collection like? Because your figures are like a full spectrum of different figures, and they all like fit where, you're taking the picture. So tell us about your Lego collection and how that started.
I didn't know that many figurines existed.
And how you keep up with it and source. And do you source certain figures and plan ahead? That's like a huge loaded question, but I'm gonna let you take it and run with it.
So it started with 3. It started with 3 figures. We went to the Lego store at Downtown Disney, and they have build your own minifigure. Mm-hmm. So we said we'll just go ahead and get these 3 and we'll just use 3. And now we're up to...
Oh, God, I have no idea. Because it's hard because we buy legs separate from torsos from heads. So, like, it's not like we can say we have X number of little guys because we buy the pieces individually.
But we probably have, I think, 200 little guys at this point.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm organized.
So that's a funny question because it's actually like a what is it, like a toolkit essentially?
We bought them from Home Depot, where you would keep screws in one compartment and nails in another. So we've got 4 of those that clip together, and we keep the torso separate from the head, separate from the legs, separate from the hair.
So do you keep them like handy with you in the car?
Yes.
Okay.
That's exactly what we do. Because sometimes we'll be driving around and we'll be like, ooh, we're passing this place, and just and grab the figures that we need. So it's been that's happened before.
That's a big part of it. Every year, twice a year, I guess, Lego puts out custom minifigures that have special pieces and things. So we've got a handful of those that we use for special occasions. They've got the Disney minifigure series. So we've got Mickey and Minnie and Goofy. We've got some people in like specific costumes. Like we went and did the corn maze back in the middle of October. We took a picture with our guy wearing a corn cob costume. I don't know why that's a thing, but it's a thing.
Have you crafted any special like outfits or any like anything real specific, like a craft to try to get the exact figurine that you want?
So most of them we've made by sourcing the pieces to create specific outfits. The only one that we've really created ourselves was Nitro from UCF.
Oh, okay.
So he's one that, you know, you can't buy all of the pieces in gold. They don't make the armor in gold. So we went ahead and hand painted him and put all the logoing on him. And he's the one that we really invested a lot of time in, I think, personally.
And you'd be surprised too. There's a lot of pieces that you can kind of manipulate to local things. Like we had like the Lego Harry Potter series. There's Luna with the giant, you know, lion head. Well, guess what our soccer team is? You know, lions. So we can use, you know, so there's ways to kind of figure out if you're thinking in the right context when looking at all the available pieces on how you can make things fit. And sometimes we think of the place and then try to find the figures to go with it. But sometimes we'll be looking at the figures and then an idea will pop into our heads too. So it can be kind of one or the other.
So which one is your favorite figurine?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh God.
And maybe
like your favorite child, you can't really say, or
no, I guess there's just been enough of them now where I have to kind of process and think back through.
So we've got photos that we haven't posted yet, and I think you'll see my favorite figurine coming up here in a little bit. She's a break dancer with an askew sort of hat and really cool hairdo and everything, and so we'll see her at the Walls of Faux coming up soon, I think. But she's probably my favorite one. You haven't seen her yet.
Very cool.
So my thing is like, so when you have to buy like these Lego sets to get just like some of the pieces. So like the Harry Potter ones, you can't just buy the people, right? Like Lego tricks you to buy a $300 set to get the Harry Potter figurine, right?
Well, no, actually, they have put out 2 special series of blind packs. So we're on Harry Potter, I think, edition 2 right now, where they're blind bags and they come with Harry and Luna and
so
Dumbledore.
We will be sitting at a Target and kind of feeling through those bags to try to figure out which one's the one we need, because what we don't want to do is, you know, buy a whole bunch of them when we don't need to.
So everyone, you know, most people love Legos. You know, I had Legos growing up. You know, I don't know if Steph had Legos. You know, Stephanie didn't have Legos. She didn't grow up in a house with boys. So, but Legos are for girls too.
Yeah.
Legos are for everyone. But needless to say, so you talk about right now. You talk about, oh, they're out on this. Lego is on set number 2 of the mystery packs. Like, that's something that you guys have had to learn, right? About how Lego releases. So is like, are you like on Lego blogs now and like figuring things out, or how serious are you when things release to go and grab them for your collection?
So I think a lot of people think that we're like Lego maniacs, and you know, we're really not. I guess I probably would be if we had the room for it, if we wanted to rent a warehouse or something. But we don't own, but I think 2 Lego sets entirety, and they're from the architecture collection. Other than that, it's just the minifigures, which we said, you know, about 2 years ago, started with just 3 little figures. There are a couple Facebook groups that we belong to, but more than anything, it's because they do auctions and they sell pieces, and sometimes you're just looking for that one perfect piece.
Mm-hmm.
We've invested a lot of money.
It seems like if you have 200 of those minifigs, I mean, no Lego is a cheap Lego. I mean, that word doesn't really go with Lego, and especially if you're sourcing something specific, which I'm guessing have you done eBay at all a little bit?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we found some websites where you can buy individual pieces also. So that's been helpful too.
Oh, I really want the Walt Disney World Railroad set, but it's like $250 Or no,
Yeah,
maybe
it's-
300. It's
We're
too
not in the-
much.
We're not in the business of buying those giant sets.
Oh
Not-
God, that's what when I worked at Disney, I was an engineer on the railroad, so
Oh yeah.
obsessed with that set. But I don't know, like you said, even if I bought it, I would have nowhere to put it. But I just want it. I just like want Mickey as a little engineer, like in his little.
Stephanie, if you want it, now's the time. Lego prices do not go down; they go up.
I know.
So if you want it, now's the time.
They don't take any discounts. They don't take pass holder discount. They don't take cast member discount. They don't take any discounts on that set. So
No.
So, are you guys fans of Legoland? Have you been to Legoland? Has Legoland reached out to you? Any relationship with Legoland, even being a pass holder or something? Because we've actually never been.
We've
to
never
Legoland.
been.
No.
So we're both in education, and teachers get free Legoland. So
Oh, nice.
so we have been to Legoland. But as far as an official affiliation, no. But we've gone a couple times. We actually went a couple weeks ago.
For their
For their
bricker treat.
Yeah, their
That
bricker
looked
treat.
so cute. I loved like they had big like man-sized Lego people.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Like little vampires and ghosts. And then I just saw a TikTok where they're having a Christmas event too.
Oh. Yeah,
So-
no, Legoland's cute. It's
Legoland's super cute. We've got a 5-year-old nephew too, and so we've been with him a number of times. It's good for
It's
smaller
worth
kids.
it if you don't have children.
we love
Kept
Legoland.
me from going. I feel like I'm not gonna be
We
able to
love
buy
Legoland.
anything, and I'm not gonna be able to do
Sponsor us.
anything.
They are not gonna. They have to say they love Legoland.
I
We
mean,
love
people
Legoland.
have
It's
to say
amazing. They
anything.
should sponsor us.
But our 5-year-old nephew,
Sponsorship they do.
Our 5-year-old nephew loves it. It is certainly caters to people of a certain age. The rides are not meant for larger people, and we are not.
That's what I mean. Like,
I'm
that
6'3".
was really my question.
I'm
Did you guys
6'3".
ever visit the park before it was Legoland? It used to be something else.
Cypress Gardens.
Cypress Gardens.
Cypress Gardens.
And I
I'd
remember
never been.
visiting it one time. They were giving Disney cast members free entry. And then when I got there, I figured out why. Because it was just some crazy abandoned park that nobody was going to. But
So the gardens
property
are
was
still
really
there.
beautiful.
The
property-
gardens are still there, which is nice. I mean, so when we go, like, we don't ride a ton of rides. They're made for smaller individuals. But we'll go. They do minifigure trading, like Disney does
Oh.
with the pins. So
That's really cool.
so that's one way that we build our collection. Sometimes we get duplicates and we'll go and we'll swap them out there. People bring older stuff back from when they were kids. So it's a nice way to build the collection. We go and we tour the gardens. They put some in some of the big Lego sculptures, like the ones you see at Disney Springs, which are always cool.
Nice. Okay, so I think that was it for our Lego questions?
Yeah, that's great. I think that it's a really unique account, and it's a fun way.
And everyone needs to go follow
Yes.
the account because I feel like you should have a lot more followers.
It is. I mean, it's hard to explain what it is. Like, explain what it is. Where a picture is 1,000 words. But we're amazing, and you should definitely follow us.
Definitely.
He's mom.
So in order to find Lego Explore Orlando, head over to Instagram. Are you guys on Facebook at all, or just stick to Instagram?
On Facebook.
You're on Facebook as well. But on Instagram, it's at Lego_Explore_Orlando. Definitely go follow them for sure. You're gonna love this account, and when it pops up on your feed, you're gonna it's just a lot of fun. So the last segment is a little bit more you guys and kind of your connection and interest in Orlando. We call it this kind of like the speed round. We have a few things to ask you about kind of what your favorite things in Orlando are. So you each get your own answer, so you don't have to have the same answer.
Okay. Okay.
Because you're both individuals, so you don't have to have the same answer.
Okay.
So what is one of your go-to or your top Orlando restaurants?
I like Crest, the steakhouse, downtown Crest Chop House.
Okay.
The best steak I've ever had in my entire life.
Oh wow, that's a big statement. Have you
You
been?
know, it's
No?
it's fantastic. It's a must.
It's amazing. Good anniversary place. And so that's amazing. And Hawkers Asian
Oh
Street
yeah,
Fair
Hawkers
is
is so.
incredible.
I wish we're in the attractions area, and I wish Hawkers would come a little bit closer. They would even be a fit at Disney Springs or something like that. Hawkers.
You have one not too far in Windermere.
It's Windermere, yeah, but it's Windermere. I have to drive into Windermere.
It's still closer than Mills 50.
It is still. That's the one that I've been to. I actually haven't been to the Windermere one. I've just been to Mills 50, but I love Hawkers. Hawkers is great. Okay, so I'll let Steph take the next one.
What's your favorite Orlando tradition? Like an event that happens yearly, or just something that you look forward to that's kind of specific to our city?
Oh God, there's so many.
Okay, let me think.
This is the lightning round. We're failing.
I know.
Trust me, you're not the only
You're not
ones.
the only ones.
Most people are stumped when.
Well, because I can give you a ton, so I don't even know what my favorite is. Festival of the Trees
Oh, yeah.
at the Orlando Museum of Art is something that we go to every single year without fail.
And I love that. We just went last weekend. It was great.
We just saw your post on that one, the little picture. It was cute.
We go every single year. That's amazing. Orlando Pride.
For a charity or anything, or like.
So all the trees there are donated by different organizations, and then they're sold off, and the money goes to the Orlando Museum of Art.
Oh, cool.
It's part of their foundation to build their collection and different events and rotating. They've got an awesome event going on. It's going on right now, and they have their collection by local artist Jeffrey, and it's one of the best rotating exhibits they've had. So we definitely recommend that.
When you go for the trees, do you get to see the whole museum, or is it for the trees only?
Nope, you can see everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And right now, like he said, there's that really awesome exhibit right now. So this year's a good year to go.
So
That's amazing.
final thing on the speed round. What is your top Orlando pro tip? So if maybe there's somebody who is new to the city, or maybe even a tourist who has been coming for years and years, and they want to experience a different side of Orlando, what would be an Orlando pro tip, if you would?
The scooters.
The
So
scooter.
I think what you should do is go take the scooter and go down Mills 50, go to Ivanhoe Row, and really do the whole big loop. There's lots of places you can stop at, have some drinks, not too many, so that you're can't scoot. But really, so we did that, and it was so much fun. It was a great way to kind of see the other parts of the city, and it's just kind of a silly, unique thing to do, and it's a great time.
And
We
I would say,
went down, last night, and we noticed that they have some different kinds of scooters now. So they have
Yeah.
like the regular ones, and then they have like ones that you can like sit on.
yep,
And I haven't tried the seated ones yet, just the regular ones.
Yeah,
it's a blast.
it really was a lot of fun.
And I'd say my pro tip, like if you've lived here for a while, like you need to follow local accounts. Like in this, like I'm not pandering, but follow Orlando Out of Context, follow Lego Explore Orlando, follow the Bungalower, follow Orlando Weekly, follow the Shitty Beautiful. Like these accounts will show you a side of Orlando that you otherwise don't know about.
Yes.
That is always the reoccurring pro tip, and we agree with that pro tip. That's probably the best pro tip.
If your friends, if you have no idea that these things even exist, then you're not following the right accounts on social media. You're not reading the right local publications. You're not, because Orlando is amazing. And I wouldn't have said that 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I would not have said that. Orlando was chain restaurants and theme parks, and that's all it was. We had no culture. We had no food scene. Like, there was not a ton of redeeming qualities. Sorry, Orlando. But in the past 15 years, like, it's become a really amazing city. But if you don't know, you don't know.
And people ask all the time, like, how do you know all this stuff that you guys are always out doing things? How do you know? It's like, we have social media.
People say that to us too in our social circle.
Yeah, it's
We've learned so much from you guys. I'm like, I had no idea.
But, that's the idea in which we built our whole podcast on. We wanted to, let everyone see Orlando for not just Disney, not just Universal, and not just SeaWorld, but for, us, a beautiful city that real people live their lives in.
and those things are fun too, right? Like we love the amusement
Oh,
parks.
yeah.
But yeah, no, there's so much more to them.
Well, Rob and Charles, thank you so much for joining us. We had a blast. We didn't know who we were going to get.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with who we got.
You guys are awesome.
We love
it was
you
a
guys.
pleasure.
It's great to see the faces. Well, we can see them because we're on a Zoom. They're still going to remain a little
Are you
bit
ever going to
mysterious.
reveal your faces to your blog or to your Instagram account?
Well, if you look closely, you'll see our Lego faces are on some of the posts.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
If you go
Now
to
that I see your real face, I'll have to do some investigation.
I don't think we're against it, but I think the right opportunity hasn't quite come along.
So
yet.
we do link to articles about us. The Orlando Weekly issue, features a photograph of us. So that our link in bio does link back to some information about us. But I don't know that you'll ever see our photo in our feed.
Yeah. No, I get that. I like that. I kind of like that.
That's like Gossip Girl,
Yeah.
I
All
live
right.
for that reference.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time,
Bye.
Follow us on Instagram at Orlando Out of Context. Instagram is where you can connect and interact with us, as well as see photos and videos related to this week's episode.
Make sure you subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and iHeartRadio.
Well, we're actually live on we should have told you, we're actually live on TikTok now. We're doing a TikTok live as we record.
Hi, TikTok world.